Hi, my name is Brandi. I'm a singer, songwriter, and author. I'm going to talk to you today about protecting our water. So without water, there is no life. And there have been prophecies, especially going back to, say, Crazy Horse, who had said, that a sick world would be longing for light again. And I mean, here I am on the land. But thankfully, I remember what it is to be human because as a child, I was connected to the earth in a really sacred way. Unfortunately, a lot of people have no idea what it means to be. If you listen right now, you'll hear that sound, and that is actually a waterfall just down the way, and that's power. John Trudell taught, we've really mixed up the idea between authority and power. Most people want authority, and they want authority over others in really unproductive, super destructive ways. If we look at the ways in which, companies are run, governments are run, they're very they live off the energy of other people in a really, really, unfortunately, inappropriate way. However, we've mistaken authority with power. The sound of that waterfall, that's power. You try and stop that. We dam rivers and we do all these things, but in the end, what we do to the earth, we do to ourselves. Chief Seattle had said that, and so did one of my favorites, David Suzuki. So we need to get back to the point where we remember that without water, there is no life. Here in Canada, I'm Canadian. I'm from Manitoba and I'm Métis, so I'm a type of Indigenous here in Canada. We have amongst the most clean, drinkable fresh water in the world, and a lot of our fresh water we can't even drink ourselves. However, you look out here, there was a point in time when our ancestors, my ancestors especially, voyageurs, you'd get beaver fever, but you could drink out of these lakes, these rivers. However, now they're so industrialized, whether it's mining or damming or mills. Unfortunately, we have standards in this country or in Turtle Island in North America. And we also have some, wages where people are being paid properly, as opposed to places where, when I think of, different industries, especially the clothing industry, being the second most polluting industry in the world, or the natural gases, that's wasting billions of liters of water. That I have an environmental science degree, and you learn about remediation. And when you're damming, or you're working with textiles and you're trying to remediate and whatnot, there's some things that you cannot fix. That you mess with nature and you're hurting yourself. So in parts of the world where there are no standards and people, unfortunately, are drinking out of rivers that have tons of, they're industrialized, they have tons of, whether it's sewage or industrial pollutants going in it, we have to realize that goes into the ocean. And this world we think is so huge, but it's actually small. What we do in one part of the world impacts the entire planet. And we're wasting billions of liters of water on plastics. We don't need to have our foods in little tiny bins that are plastic when we go to the supermarket all the time and we buy, whether it's berries in plastic or vegetables in plastic, or, getting plastic wrap on our vegetables. That's ridiculous. And our ancestors 70 years ago weren't living like that. So in terms of nebe water, we all have a duty. There are teachings, Indigenous teachings, that I've learned that we women are the keepers of water, and it is our responsibility. And we bear life within our body in those waters, right? So we all have a vested sacred interest. And truly and seriously, like I mentioned in one of my other videos, that the majority of the world is totally complacent. Few people think of more than themselves, maybe their family members, but they're not thinking of the 7th generation ahead of them. How are people going to be able to live when within less than 200 years, we have flipped the climate, we have flipped the waters, we have changed everything around us in a very destructive way. So the question is, what can you do about it? You're one person. I'm one person. However, as somebody who is sober and who does ceremony and whose life, this is my life, this is who I am, this is how I live, this is what is important to me, this is my power, this is my grounding. What I can do is I can give you this message. I can teach you. I can teach children. I'm a school teacher. I write letters. I have a blog. This is what I do. This is my form of activism, is sharing these videos to hopefully inspire you. You can do the same thing. I mean, like, instead of running the water and having a 30-minute shower, have a 5-minute shower. Demand from your supermarkets, contact people, be a voice, be a conscious consumer, that you no longer want your groceries all in plastic. Enough. We have to do something, and we have to do it quick, because we are at a turning point in our human history right now. There's no going back. There's no old way. There's no new way. There's a way now, and we have to figure that out and figure how to live at one with the earth around us. So that's my message. Nebe, water, agua, lo. We all need to care, because without water, we will not survive on this planet. And we have been given such gifts as the beauty of the world around us. I mean, look, you can't buy that, right? And nobody owns the world. We have the idea of property so confused. But, hopefully my human brothers and sisters will grow, evolve, and think of more than just themselves. So I thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you found something inspiring. Please share and do what you can to make this world a place that the 7th generation will be proud of your actions that you took on a daily basis. Miigwech.